Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. A year after Keith Scott was found dead in a Victoria supportive housing building, his family remains without answers as the homicide investigation remains unsolved. Global News reports that Scott's death spurred the passage of Bill 11, reforming BC tenancy laws for supportive housing. His ex-wife, Cassie Bate, and cousin Lee Lukac expressed frustration with the lack of progress and transparency from the Vancouver Island Integrated Major Crime Unit, despite believing they know who was involved and that video evidence exists. While the legal changes offer some solace, the family is deeply affected by the lack of justice for Scott, whom they remember as a kind-hearted person struggling with addiction and trying to turn his life around. Global News reports that Canada's Alert Ready system is scheduled for testing across most provinces and territories this Wednesday. The tests, which aim to ensure the system's functionality and public awareness, will issue test messages through television, radio, and compatible wireless devices. Quebec and Saskatchewan are the only provinces not participating in this nationwide test. Ontario's test is specifically scheduled for Thursday. The Alert Ready system is periodically tested in May and November as part of the country's commitment to public safety communications. Global News reports that closing submissions are scheduled to begin Wednesday in a significant case before the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal. The Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation in Ontario has filed a complaint accusing the federal government of systemically underfunding and neglecting on-reserve education. The First Nation alleges that the 2019 education funding formula fails to meet the specific needs of First Nation students and perpetuates historic disadvantages. They are seeking a finding of discrimination, permanent education reform, and an immediate interim order for Ottawa to fund First Nations education at cost. The Federal Justice Department, however, argues the First Nations evidence is speculative and that their elementary school is well-resourced compared to some provincial schools, deeming the requested remedies inappropriate. The First Nation counters that these comparisons are flawed due to the higher needs and different cost structures inherent in First Nation education. The closing arguments are taking place in Hagersville-on-T and are expected to conclude on Friday. According to Global News, 2026 is predicted to be one of the most expensive summers for Canadian road trips, with experts highlighting the significant impact of rising fuel prices. The national average gas price has reached 190.4 cents per liter, a stark increase from 132.0 cents per liter last year. Petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan of GasBuddy warns that prices could potentially rival the all-time record high of $2,000 from 2022. This trend is expected to heavily affect travel by car and RV, with larger vehicles like RVs facing considerably higher fuel expenses. Despite the cost concerns, there's a strong domestic demand for outdoor recreation and travel within Canada, leading to high booking rates for campgrounds. While some Canadians are opting for smaller vehicles or closer destinations, the desire to explore the country remains robust. Experts suggest that managing other trip expenses, such as attractions and activities, can help offset the increased fuel costs, making domestic travel still an attractive option. CBC News reports that the results of a joint privacy investigation into OpenAI's ChatGPT will be made public this morning around 11 a.m. ET. The investigation was launched in 2023 by Canada's Federal Privacy Commissioner and his counterparts in Quebec, British Columbia, and Alberta. It stemmed from a complaint alleging that OpenAI unlawfully collected, used, and disclosed personal information without consent. While the investigation predates the recent fatal school shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC, the results are expected to attract increased attention due to related lawsuits filed against OpenAI. These lawsuits accuse the company and its co-founder Sam Altman of negligence, citing that the shooter's ChatGPT account was banned for disturbing content prior to the tragedy, yet law enforcement was not notified despite internal pleas from OpenAI employees. Sam Altman has since issued an apology to the community. Additionally, the federal government is reviewing whether age restrictions should be imposed on chatbots. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.